What if something as simple as a tattoo could reveal a pattern of emotional chaos, impulsive decisions, and a past she never truly healed from? Welcome to Female Nature Revealed. Today, we explore the hidden psychological risks of dating tattooed women, according to modern scientific studies. We must clarify immediately that not every tattooed woman is a walking red flag, meant to ruin your quiet, peaceful life. However, tattoos often emerge as permanent results of choices made during highly specific and incredibly intense emotional conditions in her life. In this beautiful anime-style exploration, we will decode the hidden psychological meanings behind the ink decorating the skin of women. Let us dive deep into the first major risk, which revolves entirely around the heavy burden of an unhealed, painful past. For many women, a tattoo serves as a permanent physical mark commemorating difficult periods or desperate survival through dark emotional times. Sometimes these intricate designs are simply lingering ghosts of former romantic lovers that she has not yet been able to release. When you date her, you might unknowingly be competing with the unresolved memories permanently etched into her skin and fragile heart. Every time she looks at the mirror, those dark ink patterns perfectly remind her of the painful history she carries inside. This heavy emotional baggage can easily create an invisible wall between you two, preventing genuine connection and true vulnerability from blossoming. Moving to the second risk, we often observe a deeply ingrained rebellious spirit hiding just beneath the surface of artistic tattoos. Many individuals choose to get inked during a chaotic phase where they simply want to burn their entire existing world down. This destructive urge usually follows a severe breakup or a massive family crisis that completely shatters her previous sense of stability. A woman driven by this intense rebellion might struggle significantly with maintaining the steady rhythm required for building a shared life. Her subconscious desire to break rules and defy societal expectations can easily translate into sudden, unpredictable behaviors within your romantic relationship. You might find yourself constantly trying to calm a storm that she actively encourages, because stability feels unnervingly restrictive to her. The third psychological risk involves a strange, subconscious addiction to suffering, emotional chaos, and the familiar sting of continuous personal pain. The physical process of receiving a tattoo is undeniably painful, requiring the person to sit still while needles rapidly pierce skin. For certain individuals, this specific type of physical pain becomes incredibly familiar, almost comforting in a world that feels overwhelmingly numb. They might become so accustomed to enduring pain that they unconsciously seek out emotionally damaging relationships just to feel something real. When a peaceful, healthy relationship is finally offered to them, the absolute lack of dramatic conflict might make them feel bored. They might intentionally sabotage your peaceful connection because quiet comfort from a loving man feels entirely alien to their chaotic system. This leads us directly to the fourth major risk highlighted by researchers, which focuses on significantly elevated levels of behavioral impulsivity. Multiple psychological studies have consistently linked the acquisition of tattoos with a demonstrably higher degree of impulsive decision-making in life. Choosing to place a permanent mark on your body based on a temporary emotional state reveals much about her internal processing. If she makes permanent physical changes impulsively, she might also handle relationship conflicts or sudden external temptations with the exact recklessness. A moment of intense anger or fleeting desire could easily drive her to make choices that permanently damage the trust built. You must carefully consider whether you want a partner whose baseline reaction to stress involves making drastic choices without proper forethought. The fifth risk dives into deep issues regarding personal self-image and the desperate psychological need for external validation through modification. For many heavily tattooed women, the ink serves as a protective psychological armor against a world they perceive as highly critical. These elaborate designs often act as a colorful camouflage, desperately trying to hide profound insecurities and deep internal scars from view. Unfortunately, no amount of beautiful external artwork can ever truly heal the fundamental lack of self-love hiding within her soul. She might constantly seek your validation to fill a bottomless emotional void that her tattoos were originally intended to cover up. This creates an exhausting dynamic where you are endlessly trying to reassure a partner who fundamentally struggles to accept her worth. The sixth risk we must discuss is the modern phenomenon of hyper-independence, which frequently manifests through extensive, visible body art. Some women utilize their tattoos as a loud, visual declaration to the entire world that they absolutely do not need men. While independence is healthy, this extreme defensive version usually stems from past trauma and a very deep fear of emotional vulnerability. This fierce hyper-independence makes it incredibly difficult for her to establish true intimacy or accept mutual support within a partnership. You might find yourself locked out of her emotional world, treated more like a temporary accessory than an equal life partner. A healthy relationship requires two people willing to lean on each other. But her ink screams that she stands alone forever. Now we enter the seventh and perhaps most crucial risk factor, known in psychological circles as the dark NSP tattoo profile. This specific profile carefully examines the total number, the overall size, and the thematic darkness of the images etched into skin. Tattoos that display overwhelmingly nihilistic, highly aggressive, or deeply chaotic imagery are strongly associated with significantly higher psychological risks and instability. A small butterfly is one thing, but a massive skull surrounded by dark flames suggests a completely different internal emotional landscape. Men must learn to read these visual warnings carefully, as they are literal red flags permanently painted onto her physical body. Tattoos are never just meaningless decorations. They are the unique emotional fingerprints of her core values, past traumas, and held beliefs. Every single line of ink tells a silent story about how she processes pain, handles stress, and views her societal place. For a man who prioritizes long-lasting peace and quiet stability, ignoring these obvious visual clues is a recipe for disaster. Understanding the profound psychological meaning behind her tattoos is the only reliable way to avoid repeating painful past mistakes with women. You must look past the superficial aesthetic appeal and ask yourself what kind of emotional storm originally created those permanent marks. Let us take a moment to analyze why the anime style perfectly captures the intense emotional depth behind these tattooed women. In anime, every visual detail carries heavy symbolic weight, much like how a woman's tattoos represent the silent battles fought internally. The vibrant colors and dark shadows of her ink mirror the extreme highs and devastating lows of her turbulent psychological journey. When you see a woman covered in intricate designs, you are looking at a living, breathing graphic novel of her life. But unlike a comic book, you cannot simply close the pages when the storyline becomes too chaotic or emotionally draining today. You are signing up to live inside that intense narrative every single day, navigating the unresolved trauma that inspired body art. Many men fall into the trap of believing they can be the heroic savior who finally brings peace to her universe. They see her tattoos as a fascinating mystery to solve, completely ignoring the massive psychological toll this rescue mission will demand. You cannot erase the painful past that is literally written on her skin, nor can you easily change her impulsive nature. The desire to rebel against traditional relationship structures is often deeply embedded in the very same mindset that drove her ink. If she views herself as an eternal outcast, she will naturally resist your attempts to build a normal, traditional, peaceful household. Her addiction to emotional pain might cause her to view your consistent kindness as weakness, leading to completely unnecessary relationship drama. She might unconsciously test your boundaries constantly, pushing you away just to see if you will endure the pain like her. This relentless cycle of pushing and pulling can quickly destroy your mental health and drain every ounce of masculine protective energy. Furthermore, her impulsive tendencies mean that the relationship could suddenly end over a minor disagreement that she blows entirely out of proportion. When permanent decisions are made based on temporary feelings, the sacred commitment of a long-term relationship holds very little value. Her fragile self-image, hidden behind layers of beautiful ink, requires constant external validation that you alone will never provide fully. She may seek attention from other men to feed her insecurities, creating a toxic environment filled with jealousy, suspicion, and anxiety. The hyper-independence she proudly displays is often a thick defensive wall designed to keep you from discovering how broken she feels. She will refuse your help when she needs it most, turning a partnership into a lonely struggle where you suffer silently. The dark NSP tattoo profile is perhaps the most glaring warning sign that her internal world is dominated by chaotic aggression. Skulls, weapons, and demonic imagery are not just aesthetic choices. They are literal reflections of the dark energy she actively embraces. Inviting that specific type of dark, chaotic energy into your peaceful life is a massive gamble that rarely pays off well. You must value your own peace of mind above the fleeting excitement of dating a woman whose body is a warning. True masculinity involves making rational, protective choices for your future, avoiding unnecessary risks that threaten your long-term stability and health. While it is entirely possible for a tattooed woman to heal and grow, the statistical odds are heavily stacked against peace. You are not obligated to take on the heavy burden of her unhealed trauma just because you find her aesthetic attractive. Look closely at the women who choose to keep their skin clear. They often process their emotional pain through healthier mechanisms. A peaceful woman does not feel the overwhelming urge to permanently scar her body to prove her strength to the world. She finds her identity through her actions, her character, and her quiet resilience, rather than through loud, permanent declarations of rebellion. When evaluating a potential long-term partner, you must look beyond physical attraction and ruthlessly analyze the psychological indicators openly displayed. Tattoos are essentially a highly visible resume of her past emotional states, revealing exactly how she navigated the hardest life moments. If her resume is filled with impulsive chaos, aggressive rebellion, and unhealed pain, you must proceed with extreme caution and awareness. Do not let your desire for a passionate romance blind you to the very real psychological risks associated with tattooed women. Passion fades quickly, but the chaotic emotional patterns that drove her to get inked will remain a permanent fixture in life. Remember that your ultimate goal as a man is to build a serene, stable empire where you can thrive and grow. You cannot build a peaceful empire with a partner who secretly craves the destruction and dramatic chaos of a raging storm. Protect your energy, guard your heart, and make romantic decisions based on cold, hard psychological facts rather than temporary physical attraction. The studies are clear. The more tattoos a woman has, the higher the probability of encountering severe emotional instability and impulsivity. This is not about unfair judgment. It is about basic self-preservation and protecting your future from entirely predictable, romantic disasters. As we continue our deep dive, let us reflect on the societal push that encourages women to embrace these chaotic marks. Modern culture often glorifies trauma and rebellion, convincing young women that scarring their bodies is a profound act of self-empowerment. However, true empowerment comes from internal healing, emotional regulation, and building a stable life, not from external modifications driven by pain. By choosing a partner who values internal peace over external rebellion, you are setting the foundation for a truly successful relationship. Do not settle for a life of constant emotional turbulence just because society tells you to ignore the obvious red flags. Trust your instincts when you see those dark, aggressive tattoos. Your subconscious is actively warning you about the danger lurking ahead. A wise man learns from the psychological studies and the painful experiences of others, avoiding the hidden traps disguised as art. Let her tattoos serve as a helpful filter, instantly revealing the emotional baggage she carries before you invest your precious time. Your time, energy, and emotional resources are incredibly valuable. Do not waste them trying to fix someone who embraces their chaos. Focus on finding a woman whose internal landscape is as peaceful and clear as the unmarked skin she proudly presents today. We have now uncovered the hidden psychological risks of dating women with tattoos, exploring the deep connections between ink and instability. From unhealed pasts and rebellious spirits to dangerous impulsivity and dark NSP profiles, the scientific evidence provides a very clear warning. Tattoos are the emotional fingerprints of her history, offering you a unique window into her soul if you are willing today. Prioritize your peace, protect your future, and never ignore the literal signs permanently painted on the women you choose to date. A peaceful life requires a peaceful partner, one who processes her pain through healthy communication rather than chaotic, permanent physical modifications. Make wise choices, gentlemen, and build the serene, successful life you truly deserve without the unnecessary burden of her unhealed trauma. Thank you for watching this deep psychological exploration into modern dating dynamics, exclusively brought to you by our dedicated, insightful team. We hope this detailed analysis helps you navigate the complex world of modern relationships with much greater clarity, wisdom, and confidence. If you found this information valuable, please hit that like button to support our channel and help us reach awakening men. Share this crucial video with your brothers who might be ignoring these obvious visual red flags in their own romantic relationships. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our future deep dives into the dating realities. This is Female Nature Revealed, signing off. Stay rational, protect your peace, and we will see you in the next video.